Good morning. It's Monday, 30th September 2024. Welcome to yet another episode of Pre-Market Commentary. This is Vijay here. I am not a Sebi registered advisor. So, what you will hear about stocks or the markets is entirely my own assessment. So today is a very important day. I suspect it will be, in terms of how the markets will function the near future. It will be dependent on the Sebi board meeting. So Sebi board meeting is happening after the Hindenburg issue, which cropped up and which implicated the Sebi chairperson in more ways than one. But more important than that is the F&O norms, which have come under severe scrutiny because of the number of people who are losing. 93% of traders lose money in F&O, and primarily it is because of options. And in the options, we are talking of that 0 day to expiry option, which is every day there is one option, one segment which is getting what shall I say, expired. So, and it's on a weekly basis, and so it's a daily basis. So there is a lot of money being punted like a lottery, and people are losing rather than gaining. The gainers on the other side are the large institutions, mainly like Jane Street, hedge funds, and huge algo-based organizations. So therefore, I'm sure there will be something happening today. So they are looking at, can look at stricter norms, then the increasing of margin, limiting number of options in consultation paper on F&O, which already SEBI has put it in the public domain. Now, there are other things, was that they will also approve something called a MF Light. We don't know exactly what the contours are, but the regulations for MF Light are likely to be announced today. So today's board meeting is likely to be a game changer in more ways than one, provided they take all the decisions which they have promised to take. One never knows, they may push it to the next board meeting. So what happened markets this week? Nifty crossed 26,200. That's an all-time high. It advanced for the third week. BPCL and Tata Steel were the heroes. Nifty mid-cap 100 hit a new high, advanced for third consecutive week. SAIL and NMDC in the metal sector did very well. Sensex almost came to 86,000. It crossed 85,900, but on the last day, there has been some selling. Nifty Bank also advanced for the third consecutive week. Nifty Bank, remember, was one of the most hated indices, which I've been mentioning, that is the place to be in. At least we are there in that place. Bank of Baroda and Federal Bank did very well. And that's how they contributed significantly to the Bank Nifty. Then autos too did very well, probably because of the Hyundai IPO, which can come anytime around Deepavali, which is about 25,000 crores. Then Nifty Metal did its biggest weekly gain this year, went up 7%, primarily because of the China factor, where the Chinese government has decided to, reactivate the moribund capital markets as well as the banking industry. So overnight, some more actions have been taken. So today, there could be some volatility in Chinese markets, which we are already seeing in the Hong Kong market. Now, you must note that from tomorrow onwards, China is having a whole week holiday. That's what they call the Golden Week. Probably the government has pushed all these reforms to see that the people enjoy a lovely Golden Week for about 7 days. So Nifty FMCG also did very well. Basically, Balrampur Chini sugar stocks did very well on Friday, and you had also the United Breweries. Energy again led by BPCL and Tata Power. PSU Bank, Canara Bank, and Bank of Baroda did well. Canara Bank, because of the Nifty rejig, did well. Pharma was up, but it was lackluster by and large. Sun Pharma and Abbott India were the leaders. Small cap was down, declines for the second consecutive week, dragged by IEX and IIFL Finance. The reason about IEX was that there are some changes in the way IEX kind of exchanges, which are under government regulations, will function thereafter. This is, of course, source-based news. We don't have anything clear from the government of India. IFL Finance, again, that gold loan issue came up, and they're not clear case. So IFL had gone up. So I think it has just taken a breather. FIIs and DIIs on Friday. FIIs sold 1,200 crores, but DIIs more than matched it up by close to 7,000 crores purchase. But it could be because of also the index rejig. So that you have to keep in mind. Global equities, Dow Jones hit an all-time high. It had at one time gone close to 450 points, but closed about 100 and odd points. S&P and Nasdaq were relatively weak. FTSE, DAX, and CAC did extraordinarily well on that day. So they also closed near the highs. Brent crude, it has been around 72. As I keep mentioning, 75 is a very strong resistance. 75-76 band. Previously, 75-76 band was the support level. So now that becomes a resistance. Gold hit a new high last week, but now it had gone above 2,700. Now it's around 2,680 levels. Silver went to about 32.5. Now closing at trading at 31.91. Silver is looking very, very interesting. Disclosure here: we hold at least 30% of our portfolios in gold and silver. Zinc and aluminium did not do much. Copper sold off. So how did India fare over the rest of the week? Hang Seng was the clear winner. Hang Seng was down through the year and for many years actually. 13% up. Shanghai, China market up 13%. Nikkei went up by about 5.5%. European markets, especially because they have a correlation with Japanese markets. So DAX, CAC, and DAX did 4, CAC nearly 4, and the KOSPI was another one. Asian markets, other Asian markets also did well. But look at Nifty. Nifty really didn't do much, only 1.5%. So it was not it was not a spectacular week for the Nifty. Of course, it was much better than Dow Jones, which was only up by 0.6. S&P 500 was 0.62, and Nasdaq was close to 0.95. And the Nasdaq 100, which is also a significant index, closed above 1%. Global news, the macro news, which was very important, was the August core PCE index. It rose only 0.1%, which means the Fed can go ahead and cut even 50 basis points in the next meeting, in the November meeting. We don't know whether they'll do 50, but 25 is guaranteed with this kind of PCE index. This is one of the gauges which the Fed looks at when deciding their future course of action. So that is as far as PC is concerned. And this is an interesting view here. I've been mentioning that, you see, when the FIs come, they come in plenty. And this is one FII from MNG Investments. He is convinced that India is the most inexpensive market. And here we are talking of India being very expensive at 24 PE. I've been mentioning that there are lots of stocks, and especially Bank Nifty, which is very, very cheap. Till about 3 weeks ago, Bank Nifty PE ratio was the lowest in a decade. Decadal low will mean how can it be considered expensive? In Nifty is 24%, 24 PE. But of that, 32% is from the banking and financial sector. Stocks are there. And those stocks, I think, will lead. I keep repeating it, just it almost point to boredom. But then, I need to do this because I think we are not looking. We are looking at only from one angle, saying prices have gone up, therefore it's expensive. If prices go up, it is not expensive so long as the underlying fundamentals take it up there. So that is so. Then so FIs are very, very bullish. Last week you had the JP Morgan conference where one of them talked of Nifty can go up even to 40 PE, and right now we are at 24 PE. So here there are some people who are talking of Nifty going to 12,000, but there that gentleman from JP Morgan, very big boys, and they have lots of money riding it, are talking of a 40 PE, so for around 40,000. So actually, as of now, we are at 26,300, which is closer to 40,000 than closer to 12,000. So to keep this in mind before we actually approach the market. NSE has revised its transaction charges, so has BSE done. So it's increased its transaction charges actually. So it is not a great sign, but then that is how the system functions. So today, at the end of the day, what you need to understand that the market is not as bearish as, I mean, not as expensive as what people make it out to be. So one has to keep in mind and perspective and look at the stocks and sectors which are likely to do well. Next week we'll have the RBI policy, so that also will play a role in how the banking sector does. Please note, this is a holiday shortened week. Wednesday is Gandhi Jayanti, and tomorrow will be the expiry for the Bank Nifty. And because of the Sebi board meeting today, you may have lots of volatility. So we are keeping our positions low. We are buying into our regular stocks as far as intraday is concerned. We are not shorting anything in this market. We are doing BTFD buy today for Deepavali. So whatever you do, I hope it is successful. Thank you very much.